Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Tea with Glenn. I am the namesake, Mr. Glenn, and today I am joined by
Lily Hazlett,
Kenna Shoemaker,
Lay the Virgil.
That's okay. And our guest,
Mrs. Alascia.
Okay.
Mrs. Alascia is our
Please
librarian.
welcome Miss Alascia, our librarian.
Great intro, guys. Good job, guys. Okay, what's our topic?
Okay,
Give us our
today's topic mainly is about what would you do if music never existed? How does this apply?
Mr. Glenn wouldn't have a career.
I was thinking about that in the car this morning. I was like, today's topic is so, relevant, because then this wouldn't even be going on.
No.
We wouldn't even have Tea with Glenn right now.
What would you do if you weren't, in music?
What would Glenn be doing?
Well, we talked about that at the other episode about how I was going to be like an architect, but I hated math. But then the real question is, if music doesn't exist, I don't even know if I would have been an architect. If you think about it. I mean, because, my uncle was a band director, so growing up, we went to concerts all the time, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, I like this. So then it was in the back of my mind that, music existed, and it was at least a career path that was existing. So, I mean, it's a hypothetical question. Where would we be as a culture, really, without...
Oh.
Very true. Lily, your take?
I think music more as a language than a culture, because if you're like me and you listen to K-pop, you don't understand what they're saying most of the time.
But you feel it.
Yes, you feel it.
You feel it.
So most of the time, it's going to sound really weird, but whenever I listen to the song, I guess what it is about, and most of the time I'm correct, because I look at the lyrics.
I would think you catch on to the language from hearing it all the time, don't you? Or
No.
No? You still don't. You still don't
I only know
understand?
I only know hello, and I love you.
Is that konnichiwa or is that?
No, that's
That's
Chinese.
Japanese. Okay, whatever.
That's not Japanese.
Oh, I thought
Japanese
it was
is
Japanese.
not. Oh yes, I learned that from anime that I no longer want anymore.
So much learning.
Oh my god.
Fabulous librarian, your take?
Well, I don't know how many people know I'm actually also a belly dancer. So,
Nice.
yeah.
That's
Music for that is an interpretation of music. Mm-hmm. When you dance, you are interpreting the music you hear on yourself. So, and that's an incredibly important part of the art part of my being, literally my entire being. And then on a weird, side one, for me, all memories, every memory I have is something with music.
Okay, I can actually relate to that. If I'm
Yes, Lily?
going through something memorable and I'm listening to a song, whenever I listen to that song again, I always think of that memory.
Mm-hmm.
Same. It always triggers something. I always think back to, I remember when so-and-so did this to a certain song. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes it weird. You guys won't have this experience for a while yet, but then you'll hear a song from when you were this age, when you're older, and you go, oh, this is weird. For me, I'm okay, I grew up in Western Pennsylvania, and then I'm out here driving around in the desert hearing the same song, going to my job at a high school as a librarian. I'm just God, this is weird. How did I go from that to that? And this is the same song, and it's freaking me out. So, yeah.
It's freaking me out,
Really
man.
cool. And
really
Mrs.
strange.
Eats all the time, your take?
This is my lunch hour. I regret nothing. So, I
Lily eat beforehand, so.
I feel no remorse. So,
My requisite right there.
my take on if there was no music, I also wouldn't have a career because that's what I plan on doing with my life. So, man, if the world didn't have music, I had a history teacher tell me that modern philosophy is basically music. Because it's that's how we don't have philosophers really anymore. We have artists, and those artists kind of they enlighten us and give us new ideas for opening our minds and kind of
They're molding the minds of the youngers.
exactly.
Deep.
And so
Deep right there. That's so true.
that's what music does. And so
So don't listen to Kesha when you're 7.
hey man, this on Kesha.
She's trying.
Don't brush your teeth with a bottle of Jack, okay? Just
Yeah, please don't do that.
No.
But yeah, anyway, that's what I say. That's what I think.
For me, I am a dancer as well, and I grew up singing. So it's like, honestly, if music did not exist, I don't think there'd be a point for me. Like, I think I would just be sad all the time. Because I listen to music as a gateway out. So if I didn't have that, then I don't even know. I just think there'd be no point for me. I wouldn't have any gateway out.
And
from
music is
anything.
actually more therapeutic for certain people.
Yeah.
Because, like, if people are going through a hard time, they go to music. Because music is what helps them get through the depression and stuff.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
I was thinking, it's like, man, if I didn't have music, what would I be doing? Well, I'd probably be a drug addict. And if I was a drug addict, I'd probably... Well, you would need some kind of escape
Yeah,
from
to be
life, so
honest,
you would
you
probably
would
become a
turn to
drug
terrible
addict.
things rather than music.
So I was like,
Or you could do athletic things.
Oh.
Because like
I-
dance would
nah,
not
it's
be
cool.
a thing.
'Cause, like,
Dance would just
wouldn't
honestly.
happen. There'd be
to
no such
nothing.
there'd be no
To
such thing as
nothing.
dance.
No.
So, and that's the other thing that I was thinking. It's like, well, if I'm a drug addict, then what would I do as like a career choice to pay for my drugs? I was like, oh, I'll be a stripper, but you can't be a stripper
Oh boy.
because
There's no music to
there's
dance
no
to.
music to dance to.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. If there was no music, I
don't
honestly
need music
don't
to
even
strip, but
know.
don't do that. Don't do that.
We're not advocating stripping, kids. Just throwing that out there.
Stay in school. Stay away from drugs and keep your clothes on. Legs closed.
Okay.
These are my friends.
Once again, the keep your noodles in the bowl has
Keep your
come.
noodles in your bowl.
Your knees together.
Yeah, I'm really bad at that.
Choir in high school is where I think I met most of my friends. I don't know
yeah.
what I mean. Like that's the thing. I
Yeah.
remember choir mostly. I don't remember the only thing I always tell people the only thing I remember about I don't know one of my like the higher up math classes. Like I remember like teacher had like long ear hair.
Oh,
That's all I
that's
remember.
gross.
And then when he got a haircut, he got his ear haircut too. And that's it. That's all I got.
That's
I
all
don't remember
out of
anything
high
else about
school.
that math class. But like choir, I could tell you all kind of stuff we did in choir. And yeah, it's just such a comforting, wonderful memory seat in your mind.
Do you know how boring movies would be without music?
Oh, very true.
They'd be
Movies when it
awkward.
was-
Those
Super
those
boring.
pauses when it has the dramatic music in the back.
Like that'd be so awkward.
Like,
Just like,
the characters
I
would just
love
be like
you.
the Avengers movies. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, no.
They
Literally,
suck
Iron
without
Man would
music.
just be like.
Just dead
And the
silence.
Hulk will just be like,
Even silent
And you would
movies
actually
have
like
music.
hear the planes
Yeah.
flying
Yeah.
through.
Even silent music.
Silent movies even had music.
silent music.
That's true.
Silent music, yep. That's what I'm
Silent
talking about.
music. But yeah.
I'm
All right, actually,
educated.
I think we have a couple questions that were tweeted at us. What?
We do have a few.
No, we had questions
We do have a
tweeted
few.
at us.
Okay,
Legitimate
Kenna
fun.
does have questions though.
I know Mariah tweeted us.
Let's see. Should have had this ready before.
I know, I didn't even think about
Come
it.
on,
I was
Kenna.
like, I totally
While you're
forgot.
looking at that, I
Quick juice
also think it's a really neat way for people to communicate even when they don't know the same language. Because
very
you could
true.
grab people from every different culture in the world, put them in a room, put a really good beat on, and they will all start moving. I guarantee it.
Get some bops on. Like, whew.
Yeah. I mean, it's just something your body does naturally in response.
And
to
most
sound.
and some friendships are actually
You want me to
created
go?
by music.
Here's the one. I think
Because like
Absolutely.
I have some friends that I probably wouldn't even like talk to if I wasn't in band.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
Yeah, again, because if music wasn't a thing, I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have
No.
these two. I wouldn't have Glenn. I wouldn't have the best teacher in the world, Glenn.
We
I
wouldn't have our Lord and Savior, Mr.
our Lord and Savior Glenn.
You're here to actually experience that. This is what it's
Hey,
like.
I'm Master Alicia in the library. So
That's true.
it works.
Master Alicia, yes. Okay, so we actually only have one question, and it's slightly off topic, but that's okay. Where would you go if you could go anywhere in the world?
Oh.
We'll start with Glenn going down.
I'd probably go to Europe since I'm a music person and like Europe is the like birthplace of modern Western music. It'd be cool. Like go visit Mozart's grave now that he actually has one. Go check out all the cool. He was buried in a pauper's grave, so they had to
I
go
didn't know
back and
that.
they had to originally redig him up, and now in Salzburg, Austria, they have like a legitimate like huge tomb headstone and everything for him. But originally he was just tossed in a sack in the ground. So like going and seeing that, visiting like French, like opera places, opera houses, checking out the London Symphony Orchestra. It'd be fun.
Lily?
I actually would think Australia. Probably because I'm just so like.
What is that?
That
Do you
was
know how
the
many
worst.
That was terrible.
Anyway.
But because like they have really nice beaches and they have koalas and they have kangaroos. I want to hug a koala. I want to inhale its scent. I love
That's
koalas.
beautiful.
I love koalas.
She wants to.
Too bad
inhale.
koalas hate
Yes.
people. Koalas are
Yes,
not
Lily.
people's friends.
No,
But they're so cute.
it's a good way to lose a face.
They put glass between you and the.
I've seen people
Fun.
hold them.
They're not actually holding them.
Yeah, they are. Let me hold a koala.
Oh,
The
boy.
koala will kill you.
I don't care. It'll be the best part of my existence.
It'll be the best part of my
Death
death.
by koala. Yes. Put that
Death
on my
by
tombstone.
cuteness.
She was such an amazing person. How'd she die? A koala.
It would be a
Death by koala.
koality.
Oh, wow.
Way to go.
Glenn with the dad
Oh
jokes. Yes.
boy.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I hope so.
Anyway, where would you go in the world?
You're interrupting our podcast.
It's Alascia. Where would you go?
I would like to go to Central America because that was the seat of so many ancient civilizations that I think it would be amazing to just travel around and kind of absorb all of those stories. I think that'd be really fun.
That would be really cool.
Ken.
After lots and lots of thought, I would go to Massachusetts because I've never been there. And it's got a cool name.
Massachusetts.
Yep, that's where I would go. It said anywhere in the world. I could have said Tucson.
It's true.
See, now I have the Family Guy Spirit of Massachusetts song stuck in my head because you said that.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
I
now
have-
I know what song's closing out the podcast.
Oh, please no.
Gotta write that down to remember.
Better than Bird is the word.
Oh, true.
Every time my voice cut off.
We love you.
I have three choices. Not in this order,
Pick
but
one.
it's always been
One.
London, Greece, New York. That's one sentence.
Fun fact, I'm going to Greece.
Greece is awesome.
No, you love me.
Anyway,
I do.
awesome sauce.
What was that? Wait, I gotta catch it.
Oh my god.
Don't
You
hurt
guys.
yourself.
Threw it that way. Okay,
One
anyways.
done.
Somebody murder this fly, please.
They're throwing kisses at each other.
Where's Dylan? He can catch it.
Okay.
Oh,
No, he did, and
Does he
then he
then
let
eat
it go. So
Dang it.
Dylan,
Oh, well, there's
Dylan
the
dropped
problem.
the fly.
Catch it with both hands, 'cause I can't catch it with one hand. Okay.
Well,
You still got time for
Still
once.
time?
How much time we got?
Wow.
The bell rings in like 6 minutes, so
Ooh.
we have 6 minutes. Okay.
we got set up
Let's
quick
see.
this week.
Let's look through our topics selection. I always have them on my phone, so let's see. One that can apply to today.
Or we can do an outro and give them like, hey, this is what we're talking about next time.
Oh, yeah, true.
How about those next time on Tea with
Tea
Glenn?
with
Okay,
Glenn.
so next time on Tea with Glenn, it's going to be about being a late bloomer to what is supposedly the cool scene in high school.
I'll let you know when I get there.
Yeah,
Honestly.
still a journey.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Spoiler alert.
Big mood.
I know, it's like, you guys left high school. Why would you come back?
Honestly.
Oh, that's a great question.
Because teaching a beginning band and music students is a worse thing. Because at least with high schoolers, they're gonna be like, the answer is no. Why? Because I said so, and walk away. With like a sixth grader, why? The answer is no.
Why?
Because I said so.
Why?
Because I'm in charge.
Why?
Because like
Peasants.
because like that 6th through 8th grade kids are finally figuring out like I can question authority, and I'm just gonna keep questioning authority.
I really don't like.
Opposed to juniors who are.
Okay, eighth graders are like those little. I'm gonna say something. They're little pricks that like they judge you, but they judge you correctly.
Yeah. Oh my god, John Mulaney.
Like they judge you, and they judge you correctly. It's like, oh, that person's really sad. How do you know?
Look at that tall man. He's got feminine hips.
Oh my gosh.
At Glenn.
Oh.
The story he told us though, if only he were black. What?
That's true. That's a story for another podcast, though.
Anyway.
See, I ended up in schools because I started in public libraries. I actually have a real library degree.
Oh, nice.
And the public is frightening, quite frankly. And they do really strange things in public libraries. And so I was like, yeah, where else can I go? And so, yeah, I went up to school library, and I'm like, hey, look, a population of people that I can say no to. And they have to go away.
And they have to go away.
So, yeah, and it's just worked out really well. And I love teenagers, which people think I'm nuts when I say that, but I do. Like, little small creature things freak me out. So teenagers are awesome, and I have fun conversations with them and get to do neat shows like this. So, yeah, I love high school. I don't like the hours, they suck. But yeah, really like high school.
We start here at 7:30, but we get out at 2:25.
So it's not bad.
Yeah, but we have to show up at 7.
Yeah, we have to be here at 7. So,
And
like,
then
we
can't
get up at,
leave till 3,
like,
technically.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's time for us to close out this show.
Don't sing yet. What'd you forget last week?
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure to show your friends, and we'll be back next week. This has been...
The spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. The spirit of what's old and what's new. The spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. The spirit of the red, white, and blue. The spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. The spirit of what's old and what's new. The spirit of Massachusetts is the spirit of America. The spirit of